Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll continue with our Pandas series. If you are new to this channel, well, welcome to my channel. This channel is called Code with Prince. So my name is Prince. So in this channel we'll talk about Python programming and in general and other stuff like that, machine learning, data science and stuff like that. So in this series we are covering the Pandas library in Python. Right, okay, so we have reached the point where we are going to be replacing learning about the replace method in Pandas. So let's get started. So I'll just paste in the previous data set, the data set that we have been working with, data frame that we have created ourselves. So we'll be working with that, and also go ahead and actually import Pandas, NumPy as well. So in the last tutorial, I noticed that I was mentioning Pandas instead of NumPy. Okay, so I meant NumPy. Okay, so sorry for that, NP. So now that you have imported NumPy, if you don't have NumPy installed on your computer, you just simply have to do a pip install NumPy. That will give you NumPy. Okay, so if you don't know how to install NumPy, I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel where I went over how to install NumPy, Jupyter Notebook, Pandas itself, and stuff like that, scikit-learn and other stuff. So let's get started. So let me just go ahead and actually create some missing values so that we can have a bit of challenge. Okay. So now I'll just go to df.isNA. Let me just make sure I run all these two cells. So run these cells and run this cell. So this is NA. So run that cell. We can find that we don't actually have we actually have only two missing values, which are this NA, but we don't want X. For example, if I just do a df, we can find we have X and we have dash. We don't want those. So let's go ahead and actually replace those. So to do that, we can simply go df.replace. This is replace. We're going to be replacing first. Let's try to replace the X. So we're going to replace X with just maybe do. Okay, just like this, like Jendo or something. So we just run this, and then we have to say in place, or we have to reassign it here. So just use in place to keep things simple. In place equals to true. Okay, so run this, and then we can do a df, and then to see that data we have replaced X. So we can also go ahead and actually replace the dash in the same way, and we can make a df here. Let's replace this with Janet. Okay, like this, and then we can have this is not okay. We need to. Why is it saying do? It's supposed to replace it with Janet. Okay, so let me just run this from here to make sure we don't have that error. Okay, so it has been replaced with Janet. So now that is done, you can see that you have been repeating the same stuff. Replace. Okay, so let me show you how to do all of this in one step. Okay, so I'll just delete all of this rows. Okay, so I'll simply do come down here and then do df.replace. We want to replace so to replace multiple columns, we just need to provide in here a dictionary. So we want to replace X. What do we want to replace it with will be the key. Okay, so this is with the values. This is the key, what you want to replace, and then the value will be what you want to replace it with. Okay, so I want to replace X with do, just like that, and then we can go to another value. We want to also replace the dash with this key value over here. We call it Janet, and then also we can also go ahead and actually replace other values. Okay, so I just want to keep this simple, and then you can say in place, just like this. In place equals to true, right? Boolean. So this is true. Run this, and then we can just simply do a df here, and we can notice that all our values Janet and do have been replaced. The dash and the X have been replaced with the values that we specified as the keys to this as the values to these keys, right? So the keys as what you want to replace, and the values as what you want to replace it with. Okay, so we are doing in place because we don't want to do reassignments by ourselves, so we have to do that first in the background. So now we can see how we can replace those values. So we can also continue here and just say we also want to replace numpy.nan. We want to replace this with maybe just let's say 10. Okay, so we want to replace all the NAS values with 10. So the NAN was here, and it was also here, so we have replaced it with 10. Okay, Okay, so now you can see that we don't actually want 10 in this column, so you can actually go ahead. I'll leave that as an assignment for you to try to fix it yourself. So the only thing you need to do is to just select this column and then replace it individually, and then select this column and we also replace it individually, just like that. So we have talked about how to select columns like that, different columns, right, in the previous tutorial. So you can just go back and refer to those tutorials, and then you can select this column and then replace the NN with a certain city, and you can select this and replace the age with maybe the mean, and you have done that I think in the previous tutorial. So this is all I wanted us to talk about in this tutorial, how to replace values. So in the next tutorial we'll talk about how to drop columns that you don't want. So thank you for watching this tutorial. If you haven't just subscribed to my channel, I kindly ask you to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. So see you in the next tutorial. Keep safe.